So, we need to talk about some of the things going on with this channel. About a year ago, I opened this YouTube channel, and as you can see, it's not doing very well. About a year ago, I said, I'm gonna chase my dream, and then I ended up having a very dead upload schedule. As you can see on this calendar where a red ring is a long form video, and a blue ring is a short. Yes, I only got out 3 long form videos, which is honestly embarrassing, I know. But why? Why would I decide to chase my dream and then not actually do anything? Well, for that, I think we should start from the beginning. Yes, this entire channel so far has been a school project. The teachers basically went, go make a project about something you're passionate about for the next year. So then all the other kids came up with all these varied and unique topics. And I was like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. After all, I was literally going to Atlanta for BCX. Prime content opportunity right there, am I right? If it didn't literally take me 67 days to edit a video. But why is it taking me months to make a video? Am I just bad at it? Well, I thought about it for some time, and then I realized I've never noticed, but this whole time I've never been ready. This whole time I've never really thought about the equipment I needed to get my videos polished. I just thought, oh, I'll take some photos and videos and mash them all together, and if I work hard enough, it'll turn out nice. Even now when I was recording, I wasn't really considerate of my future self, who would spend hours staring at my free editing app, wondering what the hell I was supposed to do when I didn't have enough footage. The free editing app on my iPad that's running out of storage that I still use to this day, making this very video. So, things I think I should have had. A legitimate camera, like a proper video camera, camera holders like a tripod or gimbal of some kind, so my footage isn't shaky as hell, a PC-based editing software where I'm not running out of storage every other video, and lastly, some sort of video outline so that I actually know what I am doing. One of the biggest misconceptions I had going into this was that having a script would ruin my authenticity, that would make everything faked and scripted, and would make nobody want to watch. But I was looking at things the wrong way. It didn't matter if what I made was good or bad. The algorithm didn't trust me, and nobody would watch my videos anyway. I was too perfectionistic to even get off the ground. And that's a common trend with me. I've got dozens of these really, really long novel drafts that I never really expand on because I just can't find a way to express my ideas that feels good enough for people to want to read it. And so with no guideline, all of my plans fell victim to my short attention span and horrible memory, where I was constantly moving on to new ideas so I couldn't forget them. And even when I do set guidelines for myself, I tend to forget about them or not follow them, as you can see by this Notion timeline that hasn't been updated in forever. And for some irrational reason, I'm just really allergic to time management. My parents have made many attempts to try and get me to get better at time management in life, but none of them have clicked. I was convinced that the simple act of following my schedule meant a lack of freedom, that I wasn't making my own decisions, but I was following some plan laid out for me, even if it was by my past self. It also didn't help that I had an established tendency of forgetting to work towards my long-term goals or projects. Like this one time I forgot an entire class existed and then sped ran it in the last 2 weeks of the school year. And honestly, time management didn't feel that important to me when I wasn't failing school or anything. In fact, having relatively decent grades even when I did things like that made me really unprepared for what working hard actually entailed. Sure, you could say I work hard on my cosplays, but that's not really a long-term thing. With my All City Caspian cosplay for 2024, I think I got most of the work in 3 weeks. And this year, I basically made negligible progress up till September 13 when I decided that I was going to completely change plans. Yeah, I'm trying to build a cosplay before Halloween in 6 weeks. Wish me luck. I can grind a project and put a lot of time and effort into it, but it's not something I could do long term. It's not something I could do for a year, as I had to learn the hard way through this capstone. I didn't really know where to go after the BCX vlog, so I made this random fan art video. I actually drew this before Valentine's Day, but in classic me fashion, it took me a month to edit the video, which is why it was uploaded so late. It also didn't really help that the Brawlhalla community is kind of known for not liking my art style. The combination of not really seeing a lot of support, as well as returning from a 3-week-long China trip into AP season, meant that I basically didn't do anything for my channel from March until summer. With summer came freedom, and with freedom came a return back to I don't really know what to do. But I did want to move away from the Brawlhalla stuff because I didn't want to be stuck to that for forever, and it also just really wasn't doing well. So I decided to bandwagon off the K-pop Demon Hunters hype, and my fellow A-Team managed to make this set of ATs as the Saja Boys edits some of my best performing content. And for the first time, it felt like my efforts were being appreciated. I mean, 2,800 views is more people than I can visualize. But it still didn't feel like enough. For one, nothing made any money, but that was okay. I was kind of expecting it for how much effort I put in. But what really got to me was the fact that the 15 minutes per member's photo silly Photoshop thing did better than my months long cosplay build. It made me feel like doing whatever was mainstream was the only way to get off the ground. And that circled back to the feeling of losing my individuality. It wasn't like I didn't work on anything afterwards. I did some K-pop fans that I felt like making a video about, and I also got started on another lyric video. But all of that had to be shelved in order for me to finish my Brawlhalla cosplay for Halloween. So, what have I planned for the future of this channel? Even though Capstone's over, I'm not gonna stop doing the YouTube thing. I'm still doing another Brawlhalla cosplay, even though I'm not going to BCX this year. And I honestly think that would be a less depressing end to my Capstone than this. And after that, hopefully I'll get to clean out my editing hell backlog and go work on some off-season cosplays. Wish me luck that I actually get stuff done this next year. Now, you may have noticed these two little guys pop up throughout the video a lot to say things. They kind of are just a way for me to explain my conflicting thoughts, but they're very silly, so they will stay. But on a more serious note, why do I feel the need to make 2 sets of character emojis? It's because when you're unknown, there's very little criticism, but there's still a lot of mental criticism. My negative self-talk was holding me back a lot. While I do like getting to work on this channel, it didn't help that it was rather lonely. Sure, there were the other cosplayers in our Discord, but they were adults with lives, and I had a notorious tendency to write text walls when I'm bored. And as for my parents, they tended to care more about academics and making sure that I could get a legitimate job in the future, while I begged them for materials that I was failing to guarantee I would use. This led to a conundrum where no matter how much I liked the idea of working on a YouTube channel, I couldn't find the motivation to actually do stuff because it made me feel guilty and selfish. Most people found a mentor or at least had somebody to talk to during their capstone. Looking back, I wish I did that, just so I wouldn't be doing this all alone. Looking back, it's not just about going forward. I want to go back and make sure I get started the right way, now that I know more about what I'm going into. After all, I've only just gotten started.